Yes, I really was dressed like this in Madagascar, chasing butterflies and the occasional lizard. Roll the title sequence. During the Cretaceous period, the Earth's land masses looked completely different to their modern counterparts. The tectonic movement at the time was pushing India away from the east side of Africa, and in its wake the island of Madagascar broke off. Being isolated from the rest of the world, the life of Madagascar was able to evolve in a course completely unparalleled with that of the rest of the world. Some creatures are of course able to access these remote worlds, and one of the first creatures to access any island from the mainland will, in most cases, be spiders. Young spiderlings will often find that they need to leave their place of hatching for a multitude of reasons. And on a windy day, what they can do is they can produce an incredibly long strand of silk, and the air currents will catch the strand of silk and have it blown away with the little spider on the end. And this method of flight can carry a spider for hundreds of miles. One particular genus of spider found on Madagascar is this. It's called Nephila. The common name is the golden orbweb spider. It gets the name from the unique property of its silk, which has a golden sheen on it, which I couldn't quite photograph on my phone. But another particularly interesting thing about the silk of the golden orbweb spider is that it's the strongest silk of any spider. In fact, it's so strong that it's been known to catch small birds, and these spiders, particularly the females, are certainly large enough to eat those birds. Having first evolved in the Jurassic along with the emergence of flowers, butterflies too are found in Madagascar. And there are 5 butterfly families found worldwide, all of which are found in Madagascar. And they are the nymphalids, which are medium-sized butterflies that are quite ornately patterned, usually, sometimes very well camouflaged, but they've also got only 4 legs instead of the usual 6 that insects have, due to evolutionary pressures leading to the front 2 legs being vestigial and therefore having been reduced greatly over millions of years. The lysanids, small blue butterflies with very erratic flight patterns, but rather than being identified by the very distinctive blue sheens on the backs of the wings, which you would see when they're flying, they tend to be identified by the slightly more drab but considerably intricate patterns on the undersides of the wings. The Pierids. These butterflies are typically white or sulphur coloured and have a tendency to be found in forests a lot more than other butterfly groups. The Hesperiids. Superficially, they look like moths, but to tell the difference between a moth and a butterfly, you need to look closely at the antennae. Those that have got a clubbed ending to the antennae are butterflies. And finally, the Papilionids. Also known as the swallowtails, these are the largest of the butterflies, and they can be like this big sometimes. Huge. And they're usually found in the canopies of forests with particularly warm climates. Although as the northwest of Madagascar is relatively unexplored in terms of its biodiversity, many of the species of butterflies are as yet unknown to science. In the forests of Madagascar, even the caterpillars of moths and butterflies can grow to extraordinary sizes, such as this particularly large one, which was on a tree. And there's this one, which was found at night, which rather interestingly has a threat display, which is seldom found in caterpillars like this. Arachnids have been around since at least the Carboniferous. Now there's a group of them that predates even the spiders. I am of course talking about the scorpions. Now, all of the scorpions that I encountered in Madagascar were in the superfamily Buthoidea, which is the more dangerous kind. Other kinds of scorpions will use their large claws to crush their prey items to death, whereas these scorpions have got highly potent venom and will sting their prey to death. Now look at this scorpion here. As I'm sure you can see, they are quite hard to distinguish from the beiges and browns of the sand across Madagascar. But if you shine an ultraviolet light on it, they suddenly seem to glow. Nobody's quite sure why they evolved this trait. Some think it's perhaps a warning against anything that might try to eat it, showing that it's a very deadly, venomous animal. And some might suggest that it's to help other scorpions find each other, because, of course, many invertebrates and even birds can see the ultraviolet wavelength of light.
I'd like to thank Operation Wallacea, without whom this expedition would not have been possible. It wasn't just invertebrates on Madagascar. There's a whole host of birds and reptiles which feed on the arthropods of Madagascar, and as we will find out in the next video, they can be utterly unique in several ways.